The GNOME Project and GNOME Foundation is, to an extreme degree, obsessed with all things Lunduke in a creepy, unhealthy sort of way, with several posts, numerous, that are clearly libelous and extremely vulgar. The number of truly disgusting libelous and grotesque things that the GNOME Project members and often supported by the GNOME Foundation leadership have put out there is off the charts. It's crazy, it's gross, and it's weird. I wanted to walk you through a little bit of it now, in part just so I have this stuff documented out there, because it's creepy and it's off-putting. And in light of the fact that over the last few months, I've been receiving repeated death threats from extreme leftists. We talked about one that was going to be over in Texas. I was supposed to be speaking at a conference over in Texas, and some leftists began emailing me that they knew where I'd be. They showed me pictures of where I'd be, pointed to where I'd be, and said, "We know you'll be here, watch your back." And there were some very credible threats of violence. And these all come from these extreme leftists that they hate conservatives and they hate Jews. Those are the death threats that I keep getting. And the GNOME Foundation is really heavily aligned with all that, and their messaging is identical. So I'm going to walk you through it because it's creepy and weird, and it needs to be documented, because realistically, the GNOME Foundation represents the largest desktop environment in the world of open source, and realistically one of the largest in terms of visible footprint open source projects that is out there. So it needs to be covered that this is going on. I'm just going to read what I posted over to X earlier. The GNOME Foundation appears to be on a sort of anti-Lunduke religious crusade, and they are working very hard to smear the name Lunduke with any made-up vile nonsense that they can. Some of it takes the form of over-the-top tired "Lunduke is a fascist" attacks. Okay, whatever. Other attacks have gone far, far darker and far more vile, with potential legal ramifications. I mean, really dark. I'm going to show you a little bit of those in a moment, just to scratch the surface, because it's gross. Not only is GNOME not moderating these libelous, often extraordinarily profane statements regarding Lunduke, me, but GNOME leadership regularly agrees with those known false statements and often spreads that libel themselves. On GNOME's own chat servers, the name Lunduke is repeatedly smeared and attacked, accompanied by vile, profane material. And how does the GNOME Foundation respond to those attacks? Clearly designed as an attack on Lunduke, by playing the victim and declaring that members of the GNOME team are the real victims, that some of the same people who have engaged in the libelous, profane attacks, they're the victims because, oh, Lunduke, he's terrible. I get it. The GNOME Foundation appears to be a leftist political activism organization now, and they disagree with my political views, so they feel the need to attack me. Fine. It's weird, but fine. But that's no excuse for spewing profanity and vulgarity and grotesqueness of this level. And it is certainly no excuse for engaging in libel, which they have demonstrably done. I repeatedly, as late as yesterday, I believe, offered to talk through these and other issues with GNOME leadership, with their executive director, with their board of directors. I have offered them an opportunity for civil, reasonable discussions. For those of you who have followed the Lunduke Journal for quite some time, you know that I'll sit down with anybody. I've sat down repeatedly with people who I fundamentally disagree with on politics. I've done that over the last couple of months. And we have calm, friendly, often jovial discussions where we focus a lot on the things that bring us together. And we can talk about the things that we don't agree on in a way where we're not calling each other names. We're not swearing and spewing profanities at each other. We're just having a nice chat. That offer to talk with GNOME still stands, because that's what I do. Now, I want to show you a little bit of this because it's pretty grotesque. Now, some of it is simple. And like I said, some of it's real basic. Oh, that Lunduke is a fascist. Oh, people are being egged on by that fascist Lunduke. Okay, fine. But then it gets a little bit worse. The Lunduke is associated with sexual assault, child pornography, and spam. Really. Someone deeply associated, his name is George Stavrakis. He says the association with Lunduke, and in parentheses, sexual assault, child pornography, and spam is not okay, and it wasn't okay 1 year ago. Yeah, don't talk to that guy. And then the executive director of the GNOME Foundation responds to that and says, hi, with an A in it, H-A-I, hi. I don't know why they do that. Noted. Oh, so they're just noting it. They're just noting the fact that someone prominent within the GNOME project just told the executive director of GNOME that Lunduke is associated with sexual assault, child pornography, and spam. Now, are any of those things true? No, of course not. Did they make all of them up? Yes, they did. Did they do it specifically to cause harm to me? Yes, they did. Is that libel? You bet your bottom it is. It's a couple other things as well. Could I take legal action against those individuals and the GNOME Foundation for this? Absolutely, I could. And don't think I'm not thinking real hard about it. People then talk about Lunduke spiraling into darkness. And again, the executive director is like, oh, thank you for pointing that out, the spiral into darkness. Oh, and for context, someone else says, for context, Lunduke is someone linked to child pornography, sexual assault, and spam that has affected us all. And the executive director of the GNOME Foundation is like, oh, I know this much. It's hard not to know that, unfortunately. Again, that's the executive director of the GNOME Foundation supporting, promoting, and engaging in libel. You have opened up the GNOME Foundation to legal attack. I'm not saying I'm attacking you, nor am I threatening you. What I'm saying is you've done something grotesque and awful and criminal. It is ridiculous. Now, how do they respond to all of this? Oh, well, then the GNOME Foundation goes up and they play the victim. Oh, as you may be aware, the entire GNOME community has been on the receiving end of a coordinated harassment campaign. Oh, no. I mean, it's all directed at me. It literally is people in the GNOME chat servers harassing Lunduke, using my name repeatedly, calling me horrible, horrible things repeatedly, posting illegal content and linking it to my name repeatedly in the GNOME chat servers. And what has the GNOME community done about it? Diddly squat. It seems to keep occurring. They don't stop it. I just showed you several screenshots where not only did they not stop those attacks, those libelous attacks, but they promoted them. They said that they know those things are true. Oh, we know that. It's hard not to know those things. It's horrific. It's horrific what is really going on, and it's been an ongoing thing for a while. Some of it looked like they were almost committing a false flag attack on their own servers for a little while, where a bunch of people were posting to the GNOME chat rooms on the GNOME chat servers with my name on it in horrible, weird, grotesque ways, which looked custom designed to try and make me look bad and make them look like the victim. But the way that they worded everything, the way they phrased everything, is not a way that anyone who supports Lunduke would use. It's only a way that an extreme leftist activist would word things. And I go over this repeatedly in a May 19th episode I did. But this is where we're at right now. And to be honest with you, I'm at a loss as to what to do exactly. Because the reality is this. I would like to see open source projects like GNOME succeed. I would like to see those open source projects grow and thrive. I think there's value in it. I think there's real productive, practical, good value in the GNOME project. I've talked repeatedly, if you look over the last, 15, 20 years of articles and podcasts and videos and speeches at conventions and whatnot that I've put out where I've talked about GNOME, most of it is glowingly praising it. Most of it is talking about its importance within the open source world. And the fact that I have criticisms of GNOME in more recent days, because GNOME has changed fundamentally, it is not really about software anymore. It's more of an activist organization, means that GNOME will no longer speak to me. In fact, they will almost dedicate more time towards attacking me than doing most things. What has the GNOME Foundation been doing? Well, as far as we can tell, their focus is attack Lunduke, not just attack him, but smear him, defame him, libel Lunduke, say grotesque, vile, illegal things about Lunduke, criminal, false, fake, made-up things about Lunduke, and then promote Pride Month. Those are the two things that GNOME seems to be focused on right now. It is disgusting. Quite frankly, it's all just utterly repulsive, repugnant, hate-filled, and vile. Truly vile. So I'm documenting this all. I'm putting this out there. I'm going to continue as these get sent over to me, because people keep sending me screenshots and this awful stuff that they post. And I'll post some of it in part to have it publicly documented, and in part so that the GNOME Foundation is shamed a little bit. I mean, sunlight is the best disinfectant on this stuff. It really is. When people engage in truly obscene, vile, profane, and illegal behavior, my first inclination is, okay, great. Spotlight. Let's shine some sunlight on all this and see if maybe people stop doing it, right? One would think that would happen. I've done some light shining on the GNOME Foundation over the last year or two, and they have merely dug in further. Instead of not being quite as profane, they've gotten more profane, more swearing, more vulgarity, more attacks on people, more politics, more not just politics, but really extremist, activist, almost overly extreme politics, like just off the chart stuff. More vileness, more libel, more slander, more censorship, more blocking of people. If you guarantee, take this episode, take this podcast, this video or whatnot, post it on the GNOME forum. Go ahead, post it on the GNOME forum, screenshot it, and then see how long it takes until it's deleted. Guarantee you it'll get deleted. Not because anything in here is incorrect. To my knowledge, everything I've just said is 100% factual. Like I've represented what they've said, and I've represented my take on what they've said. And they will censor it into oblivion. And they'll probably delete your accounts. I mean, that's just the reality. I mean, they've been doing this for years. They have an actual policy of banning for life anyone who likes Lunduke out loud. Or just posts a link. If you post a link to one of my articles or shows, instant life ban. They've literally declared that. They've publicly stated that that's a policy of theirs. That's insane. That's insane to do to someone who is one of the few working journalists that's covering them. And to do to someone who, as a working journalist, has covered them extraordinarily positively more times than I can count. There was I remember writing one article where I declared that a specific version of GNOME was close to perfect. This is a real thing. I mean, this was some years back. But they seem to have all forgotten that. They seem to have all forgotten where they came from. They seem to have forgotten their humanity, quite frankly. Just the same, my offer to speak to them stands. My offer to publish a comment from them stands. I don't expect them to take me up on it, because they don't seem like, honestly, the kind of people that would want to engage in a friendly, honest conversation with someone else. It doesn't seem likely. It truly doesn't seem likely. People who would post online the kind of things that, the kind of filth, the vulgar, awful filth that they've posted. To start with, they damn well owe me an apology, a very public apology. I highly suggest they get a hold of me. I highly suggest it. Thank you to the Lunduke Journal subscribers for having my back always. Head to lunduke.com. Lots of ways to watch, lots of ways to listen, lots of ways to interact. Everything's up there at lunduke.com. It's just a great website. It's the best website on earth, man. It's one page. It renders pretty good on even old web browsers, and it's just there with links. There's no moving around, dynamically loaded anything. It's literally got one image tag on it. Other than that, it's just a bunch of hrefs. It's awesome. Lunduke.com. Thank you all the subscribers for making it possible to do the work that I do, to tell the news stories that I get to tell that no other news outlet out there in the whole world of tech gets to tell, because all thanks to your support. So thank you. Lunduke.com. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, nerds and nerdettes across the inner tubes, I do declare end broadcast.